I knew I forgot something. Right there. Okay. Probably should make a quick post, real quick, with the link. New device tonight, so let's see. Let's hope that it doesn't screw up. I know, I can already tell that I've got way more camera angle than I've ever had, or it seems that way. Maybe I'm wrong. I'd have to check, but ugh, I don't know if I like that. Let me go down some more. Well, it's not horrible. It's just different. All right. Go to live chat. Here we go. What's up, Phoenix? Okay, cool. It's actually up on my YouTube. That's hardly ever the case. Copy that link. And we'll make a real quick post with the link. Huh. That's weird too. It's doing some weird stuff. It's like this device is fully up to date, and my other one it can't update anymore because it was wanting something like 20 gigs to update to the new Apple operating system, and I don't have it. I don't have that much free space. Alright, post the link and stop in. And I was just thinking about, since I did that Canadian last week, I got to thinking about all my Canadian buddies, and I haven't seen them and talked to them in a while. I wonder how BTemple's doing. And I check in on CT. I don't have BTemple's number, but I talk to Smitty and CT on a pretty regular basis. Okay. Now, at some point tonight, I have a box from Dan that he sent over. I don't know if I want to pull that off of there or not. I will just use Canadian napkin to cover it. He spent a fortune to ship this over here, and I've got this box that Dan sent over that we will be opening tonight at some point whenever I see Dan in the chat. I think we agreed he was cool with that. Pretty sure. Anyway, that's the plan as of right now anyway. So I will if I can set this in the background, maybe. I'll do this. Yeah. There we go. I'll just drape that over it like that. Okay, cool. And then I've been wanting to eat this chicken and noodles ever since I've kind of revitalized my... Well, I had a chicken and noodles probably, it might have been 2 months ago now. Something like that. Out of the 2022 2022? 2024? 2022s. Anyway, fresh-ish MRE. And it had been so long since I had a chicken and noodles, and it was so crappy the last time that I had it. But the last time that I had it, I don't think that it was, I think it was like out of an A-pack or something like that. And I didn't like it. But the MRE version was fantastic. It was so good. I'm wondering, maybe this could be even better if it's held up, which most of them from so far from these 2004s have been at the worst decent. There's been a couple items that were very aged, so there could be a couple items, but usually the mains I think have been holding up fairly well. There was one that tasted old, like it really did. It's really hard to explain how it tastes old. But just imagine, like, old books and stuff like that, how they smell. That smell is kind of what creeps into the flavor, and it just tastes old. I don't know how else to explain it other than, like, the way that smells is how this tastes. I'm hoping this is not one of the ones that has suffered some aging in the main. I don't know where this was at in the case. Like, if it was on one of the sides, usually they get more heat, the outside edges. So hopefully this was an internal one and it didn't get heat stressed at all. That's the hope. Let's take a look at the chat. Have a good night. Thank you, Phoenix. Well, see, I think I'm just going to do the chicken and noodles. I mean, I could certainly change my mind at some point before I open this, or even maybe after I open this. If it ends up being bad, I'll grab something else. That's kind of the way I look at these live streams with the old stuff. If I open it and I can't eat it, I'm hungry. I'm hungry, so I want to eat. And I'll grab something else that will be more likely to be edible. 22 years is a long time for food of any kind. It doesn't matter. I'll tell you what. I was scrolling through TikTok the other day, and there's a couple different places, companies, whatever you want to call them, TikTok creators, that are selling military MREs. There's a lot of little things that they're doing that drive me crazy. And then one guy, like, he made basically a commercial, because it popped up on my page as an ad, and I know it does for everyone else too. But his spiel that he was pitching, he literally said that they have a 20-plus year shelf life. That is not true. And quite frankly, we know for a fact that those people that are peddling them over on TikTok did not have them since they were brand new. Nobody should be able to get their hands on. I mean, that's just not. It shouldn't be a thing. If you get a very new one, that means that somebody in the military they luckily got a new one, because usually that doesn't even happen. But if they did, they passed it along. They didn't have their meal that day for dinner or whatever it was. They held it and was kind enough to pass it over to one of us for viewers. I've seen it throughout the years. I've had it happen to me a couple times, and that's really the most legit way to get your hands on a fresh, and I mean fresh, like a 2026 MRE. I don't know. The things that I was seeing that those guys saying and doing over there was questionable at best. I mean, that's just flat out lying. Nowhere have I ever seen any or heard anything stated about MREs having a 20-year shelf life. Can they hang on for 20 years? Sure. I mean, yeah. This is 22 years old. I hope to be able to eat it. But the likelihood it's just unknown. It's 50-50. You don't know where they were stored, who had them, what their life has looked like, how many times they were passed around and shipped, and that usually doesn't matter too much as long as they weren't shipped a lot in the summer. Because right now, I mean, you're looking at 90 to 100 degrees on a lot of the United States right now. So this stuff gets hot, in transit. So it just depends. You know, there's a lot of variables to whether or not that food's still going to be even somewhat fresh. I have had MREs that were 3 years old that were no count. This might be fresher than some of the 3-year-old MREs that I've had. Didn't hear them mention anything about an inspection date, which is typically what it's described, and there is procedure, paperwork, protocol on inspecting MREs at that 3-year date. That's why it's printed on the box. That's why there's TTIs on them. They're meant to be gone through to make sure that they haven't been infested by bugs, they haven't gotten wet, basic rodents haven't gotten in them. That's more or less what's going on at that 3-year mark. And usually, a lot of times anymore in modern times, that's kind of when the military and whoever's dealing with those directly kind of passes them down and pushes them out the door. And it's time to cycle in new after that 3 years. But that's also why you hear a lot of guys that are eating 2- and 3-year-old food as their regular meals, because they got to use them up. They want to use them up before it hits that 3-year date. That's usually the goal, but it just depends on what we've got going on militarily. Like, if we ain't got much going on, not a whole lot of MREs are going to get used up. We've had a whole lot going on as of lately, so I'm going to assume that a lot of the 2026s, or well, I take that back, a lot of the 2023s and you know, maybe some 2024s, that stuff's getting used up right now. And then when they use that up, all those empty spots where they use those up, they will restock pallets of fresh stuff in its spot. And if they do cycle through enough to get through to the fresh stuff, which hasn't happened probably since, I don't know, Iraq and Afghanistan probably. So would have been, when did that end? 2000, hang on, I can't remember when it ended. Their Desert Storm was in the, like 90, 94, 95? I don't know. I mean, that conflict technically didn't end until a few years ago, whenever they pulled everybody out, and it was a freaking disaster. We left all that billions of dollars of equipment behind. Not we would have never done that. We have more common sense than that. Airplanes, helicopters, equipment, food, you name it. Literally everything. I'll never get over that. That will drive me crazy. Probably forever. All right. So far so good on this on the new device here. I don't know what that is. Got that on there the first time I put this on here, and I don't know what I got on it. I had to go back and watch that first stream like 4 weeks ago, whenever I changed this out. And I hate to change it out just because of that spot, but it is bothering me. It's a little bit sticky, but it ain't gonna come off there. So let's just hide it. We'll just put it underneath there. Yeah. Okay, Tim. Yes, exactly. It freeze dried him. Okay. Even the freeze dried stuff. Yeah, the main's probably going to make it even through being stored in a shed for. You know, I don't know though. I would like to take that experiment on myself. Get myself a meal cold weather and just throw it out in my shed for the next, who knows how many years. Leave it out there for at least 5 and see what happens. I've also had it in my head for a long time that I would like to bury some MREs and see how they hold up, see if they get infiltrated by bugs, see if they degrade and break down. I thought about burying some just flat out the way they are, throwing them in a hole, and then throwing dirt back over them and digging them up at some later point. And then I also thought about throwing some in a box, like a tote, something plastic, and burying that and see see how it is. I mean, that should be good because the ground temperature stays pretty cool. So maybe that's a good experiment, I think. We just won't know what the results are for. So I'd have to start that video now, film it, and then 5 years from now, or let's do 3 years. 3 years, go back out there and dig it up and see what happens. That'd be a three-year long process. It'd be worth it though. It would be worth it just to find out what happens. Hey, and if you guys don't care to hit that thumbs up or down, either way, you know Google loves any kind of information that they can get. I'll frame that up right there right quick. Let's see how this looks. Ooh. Looks like the retouch is on, or whatever it is. Yeah, oh, well, I mean, you could probably get away with a metal ammo can for only 3 years. It would probably rust some. I mean, they got rubber gaskets on the top to keep water out. So, I think a metal ammo can would probably be fine. Be worth a shot. I mean, I'd maybe try a couple different receptacles and also bare bones. Nothing. Oh yeah, I got my Australian Defense Forces with the spread on the back. It's a cool shirt. Courtesy of Dan. Oh, that's a good question. How many World War II rations do I think still exist around the world that are still edible? It's a small number, I would have to say. There probably are some out there that are, you could probably still maybe even eat the mains. I have a hope. Now, let's talk about known or possibly still out there. I think there are some that are probably in some bunkers that have been maintaining a 55 to 60 degree temperature with no change in temperature. The big thing there is going to be moisture. If they are in an environment with that nice cool temperature like that stays constant and there's no moisture, I would have high hopes for something like a ham and eggs chopped. That was one of the mains that you would see in the K rations anyway. There are also some original big can World War II stuff that's probably, I think, probably buried out there somewhere. But I'll say this, the stuff that is known, that has been in either collector hands or, you know, just family heirlooms and things like that, that stuff's definitely not the mains. Obviously, that's the first thing to go when you're talking about anything in a metal can. It just, they have to be babied when it comes to temperature and jostling them around. I mean, it spikes the acidity levels, and there's a lot of things that factor into why those cans go bad quicker than others. How many times they've been shipped around, moved around, and I mean, if you're talking about just still having edible items in them, a lot of them will still have, as long as bugs have not gotten in, things like the fruit bars could still be edible. The crackers, I've had some really good World War II era crackers before. Tim, I talked to Miss Marilyn about 3 weeks ago. She was doing really good. So yeah, she's not doing too bad. She did have she had to have a knee surgery, so she's been dealing with that. Oh yeah, absolutely. There is certainly plenty. I'd say plenty. I'd say there's still quite a bit of the German special, the heavy duty chocolate, the stuff that as far as I know, I know people that have had some, So that even came down to being in the, from what I understand, that came down to even being in some of the containers of the Coca-Cola, and that was a great receptacle to preserve. And yeah, Steve did eat some. Yeah, he did. He ate it all, actually, I think, if I remember right. Not that you would have known that, but anyways, it's a lot more likely that things like that, because chocolate outside of bloom, it's not really going to go bad. But here's the thing, and this is the case with most people up until maybe even the last 10 years or so. And of course, what we're doing has spread throughout the common knowledge. What's up, Dan? I was just telling people I got your shirt on here that you sent. So more people understand that, especially when it comes to military type foods and stuff, that they can still be okay. Or if nothing else, that they're worth something and they're collectible and they can get some money out of them, which is fine with me, because that keeps them from finding a food item, a military food item or whatever, and saying, ooh, who would ever want this, and toss it. Because that's what happened throughout most of history. Old food has creeped people out, and it still does. Whenever I talk to people, I get that instantly. Most people, they look at whatever date is printed on, I don't know, whatever food item it may be. I mean, yeah, I got some commercial right here. I actually just picked these up. Plan on trying them out here. So I just picked up a Milka Chips Ahoy. It's actually a German bar, and then on the back it has a wow. It's almost out of date. So it's going to be backwards for you guys, but it's 8/25/2026. I thought there for a minute that it was 8/26/2025. Maybe it is even. I don't think so, though. Anyway, so somebody look at this bar and they'd say, 8/26, this thing's only got a month left, and then I got to throw it out. And most people will throw it out because there's a date printed on it. That's just like donating foods. A lot of these stores like Dollar General, Walmart, places like that, if it's not within the date, they will not donate it usually, because they are scared to death of getting sued. America has become so litigious that even when they're giving you free food, that, let's be honest, outside of some meats, like obviously, there's where I would say like meats, milk, that's about it, man. Everything else is, use your common sense. If it looks good and then it smells good, you can try it if it's past date. And then if it don't taste right, just don't eat it. Just don't eat it. If you're that, paranoid about it. But just because something is out of date, we all know this. This is common sense to us. These dates are more for the cycle of their products and money than it is anything else. What's up, Survival Empire? Yeah, so that's what's happened with most of the food throughout history. Stuff that packaging back in the day was really good. Some things back in the day considerably better than things that we use now, in my personal opinion. And scientifically, let's break that down, in a lot of cases, they were just better for a longer term. We do have technologies and packaging products, or materials that are capable of keeping food better and longer. But that doesn't reflect in what we see in the dates. I mean, I could go on a spiel for this. I just highly encourage anybody that is into this and knows about this to try to pass that little bit of knowledge on to people. Because, again, most people still, doesn't matter to this day, if it's past the date that is printed on it, which, like I said, this chocolate bar has a month left on its, what do they call this? It doesn't say Best Buy, but I'm sure that's what it is. Or it might be a sale by date. I don't know how they operate. I also bought these dairy milk fingers. I had never had these before. The date on these is 8/22/2026. So this one is also about out of date. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This chocolate bar right here, if I just left it sealed like this, now I will also say things that stay sealed like this, they will stay better a lot longer, obviously, and then you introduce the outside oxygen into the packaging and it starts to degrade quicker. But if I just left this sealed and put it in a box in my climate controlled home, it would probably last, I don't know, I'd say you could probably eat it for certainly the next 10 years. Now, of course, this is a little bit more to the extreme side of the things that hold on a lot longer, but, you know, just saying, like, a lot of things are good and way past what they say they are. The oldest food that I have, what is the oldest food that I have? Actually don't know. I'd have to go through everything that I have. Huh. Definitely World War II. I mean, obviously, I know I've got World War II stuff that is edible. Or at least I think it's going to be edible. I'm sure I've got some pre-World War II stuff. Oh, yeah, actually, I know I've got some World War I stuff. I've got a canister of World War I hard breads, or what I think that's what they're labeled as, is hard breads. And then I have I got a really nice container, one that leaded. They used lead to seal them. So that's 1919. So I got some stuff that's at least 100 years old. At least 100 years old. Yeah. Got some nice World War II survival rations that might still be really good. They look really nice. And that would be, what, 80, 81 years old? Or older. It could be 84 years old. I got some other stuff. I can't remember what all I got. I've gotten stuff and put it up, and it's hard to tell. But at least 100 years old that I think will likely. I'll at least be able to try it, if nothing else. And when it comes to that stuff, if that stuff's actually edible, I want to eat it. Like, I don't want it to go to waste. Once it's open, it is nice to keep a display piece and seal it, put it up so people can see what it looked like inside the container that you ate. The rest of it, I think if it's edible, I'm going to consume it. I mean, it held on for that long. I opened it up. I should eat it. All right. Well, I did see Dan is here. Is Dan still here? I think we could probably start this stream out as far as opening stuff with his stuff. Hard Knocks, hey! Oh, your dad's... Oh, that was cool. Heck yeah. I was like, wait a second. And then you said you were back, so Hard Knocks is back. Okay, cool. thought the cow gave itself off the milk was good until that's where the date came from. Well, I don't know where the I don't think any company actually does or has done, not most of them, have done any sort of scientific test to see how long or what kind of dates they're supposed to be putting on their products. They just kind of ballpark it, and they know they stay in the safe range. Like, it'll still be good. Most companies that I know of, now there might be some out there, I'm sure, that have done some testing, but I don't think there's been any crazy extensive tests done, because storage conditions, they can vary so much. So what they would have to do would be to store it in the worst possible conditions, not milk and stuff like that, though. But they'd have to store their product in the worst possible conditions. And that varies from item to item, because if you store chocolate like this outside in 100+ degree heat, it's going to turn into a puddle. You know, you could still eat it as a soup or whatever, like, you know, liquidy, but you can't. It wouldn't be in its original form any longer. So anyway, I seen Dan up there. Oh yeah, he's still here. Okay, let's do Dan's box real quick. Let me flip the camera around here. Let's take the camera down. I think whoop, dang it. Just lost a little bit of my tripod leg length there. I'm gonna have to fix it. Alright, let's do that right now. There we go. Being difficult. There we go. Okay. Alright, I think that's not... what did I do? I've done something wrong here. That's better. Okay. Alright. Let's see what Dan sent from Australia. Let's see. Oh. Okay. Here we go. Am I opening this right? Let's see. I might just have to open the end of it like a... Wait, I think... Okay, there's a flap on the front right here. Okay, I see. Here we go. Dan sent this over very kindly for my birthday. I told him, man, you don't have to do stuff like this. It's far too kind. I don't deserve this at all. And that's my truth. I do not. But I'm very thankful. I probably shouldn't have stuck that knife that far down in there. Okay. Okay, we got that side. This side. Huh. Well, that piece of tape was barely hanging on. Alright. Oh, and I think I got to cut down here. Well, here we go. There we go. Okay. Oh, trying to flip that flap up. Here we go. Box from Australia from Dan. Let's go. Got a note. There we go. Hey, happy birthday. I'll read this to myself here. Wait, I guess I could probably read this. Okay, happy birthday, Smokey. And here we have a good selection of some Whitaker's chocolate. Wait, I probably should read this after, huh? I did just read it, but okay, all right. I think, yeah, we'll just pull the flap off here. Oh, man. Well, holy cow. What is this? Black plum and roasted almonds. I didn't even know Whitaker's done stuff like this. I thought they were just a strictly... Well, I did have the chocolate with the coffee bean in it, in the ration that I had, I don't know how many years ago, 7, 8 years ago, in the gold packaging, like this. It was in the shiny gold. Holy cow, dude. For me to order these, I think it was like 40 bucks a bar, if I'm not mistaken. For me to order these chocolate bars, I'd have to look on Amazon again, because that's where I found them. I want to say they were $40 a bar. This is insane. Because holy cow, there's more of them. Oh my God. Oh, no way. That makes me... all right. So I have this one still that I've been rationing. And I got to have a piece of this right now. So it's a little bloomed. I don't know if it was like that when I first opened it or not. I don't know. But... if you guys have never had Whitaker's chocolate, oh my goodness. It's one of those things that I haven't had another brand that I can directly compare it to. And in my personal opinion, it's the best. So this has got something in it. No way. So these are both 72%. Same thing as what I got there. This one's 62 and dark salted caramel. Oh my. What's this one? Oh my God, rum and raisin. And this is 50%. Dude. I gotta send you some money for this stuff, dude. Holy cow. And this one's just almonds. Yeah, almonds. I love almonds. Dude, I love all. This is all exact. You know me too well, because this is exactly what, if I was in the store and I seen these, this is exactly what I would buy. I don't know what else they have, but this is right up my alley. For sure. Raisin. Salted caramel. And then the dark Ghana. This must be like their fancy brand. Artisan chocolate. Do they all say that? They don't, do they? So this is their artisan brand. Holy. I gotta have another bite now. Oh my God. Okay. So, I just read... Oh, uh-oh. It's a good thing you wrapped it like that. Look. Some escaped. Is that lid bent? Huh. Four bees apiary, Tasmanian honey, Manuka. So I've heard of Manuka honey before. Is that the thing that Joe Rogan has on there all the time? I mean, I'm reading here. I'm going to have to look it up. He said this is Manuka honey directly from the beekeepers. Manuka is only found in Australia and New Zealand. It has I don't know what that word is. Methyl. methyl something or other. And it's a good anti-inflammatory and antibacterial. Or it has good anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties. Look it up. That's exactly what I just said I'd have to do. Manuka is healthier, and it can be expensive. I've actually never looked into it, but I did get on this honey thing kind of kick, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. My neighbor down the road actually has honeybees and makes, they make honey, and he collects it. And I was buying honey off him for a while. I need to get some more off of him, but I was eating 2 tablespoons of it a night to boost my immune system and just try to help myself out. I like honey. I really like honey. Is this that honey that he gives people a spoonful of on there? I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Right? Actually, I can do that right now, real quick, because I am curious. MANUKA, like Nuka. I don't know what that stuff he had is. The first video that popped up, it says, why Manuka honey is so expensive. And then it says so expensive again. I don't know what that's about. I will have to watch some videos, though. There's a person spreading it on her face. Cool. And then I want to try this. This will get tried right now. Look at this. He said Mrs. Dan made this. I read it in the letter. But this is handmade from Mrs. Dan all the way over in Tasmania. This thing's super long. You know what? This is one thing in the wintertime that I actually use a lot. Because for me to put something on and like cover up my beard, usually I have a face mask and stuff, but whenever I was in New York, I was in and out a lot. And wearing a face mask in New York back when I was there, this was pre-COVID, all the way up until COVID, face masks were very frowned upon. Like, even though I was there in the coldest part of winter, like you typically wore a toboggan, and that was about, jacket you flipped up. But I have, and I have it somewhere, maybe hanging back there on my coat rack, but I have a very long New York scarf that I bought while I was there, and I would just wrap it around my face like this as like a face mask and keep myself nice and warm in the winter, and then it didn't screw my beard up too bad, and I just pull it off whenever I was done. And my beard wasn't, because if I put a face mask on, this is always a mess. So this will certainly get used. Thank you so much. And it's got scratchy too. What is this? Crochet? Is this crochet? This looks like a lot of time. Looks like a lot of time was involved. Dan said he picked out the material here, which I'm not sure what that is. Cotton or something? I'm not a fabric expert. That is cool, though. Manuka honey. Manuka honey. I got all kinds of chocolate stuff to try, too. Let's just do it. I don't want to open them all right now, because like I said a minute ago with the other chocolate bar, if I open it, that begins its decline, and you see what the other one looks like now. Now, not that it won't still be edible, but look how, I don't know if I've done that. She's a little bloomed, but it's an airy chocolate too. Look at that. really see the way it came together. Alpaca or wool? Is that what it is? Wool. Got it. It is wool. You might even said that in this note. Yep, I'm an idiot. I did not read that. I read it, but I didn't process it. Because I focused more on the that counts right part after that. Honey. I don't know where it was leaking at, or how it was leaking. It's not sticky. Oh yeah, it is right there. No. I don't know if you can see it, but right here somewhere. That doesn't taste like anything. It has started to crystallize a little bit. Should shake it maybe. Give it a good shake. I don't know how much that's going to help, but it's worth a shot. I don't care. I like crystallized sugar. Or crystallized honey. Okay, I'm going to pop the... Oh, no. The still definitely has popped. Probably just from shipping. Yep. That was from me shaking it so much. I usually get the, from my neighbor, I get the honey off of him that has the comb in it. I like eating the comb. I don't care if it's wax. I think it's good. Okay, I've got a ration spoon here. Scrape the edge right there. Some of that crystallized stuff. I don't know how much of this you're supposed to eat, so that's probably good. I'll set that. I'll set it right there and put the lid back on it. Manuka honey. It's got in my mustache. I should have smelled the jar. Hang on. Let's see if I can smell it. It smells kind of like natural honey, just regular around here honey, but it smells like it's very subtle. All right, let's see how this is. There's explaining to you about the crystallization. That is really good honey. It's way more smooth. The typical honey that we have around here has a little bit of a, I don't know how to explain it. I'd have to eat some probably right now and give you like an instant feedback on it. I can picture in my head what I'm wanting to say. This doesn't taste the same as the honey that I get here, though. I want another little taste of that, actually. Let's just scrape the lid, so... There we go. Another little shot of the honey. Yeah, that definitely tastes different than our standard honey that I get around here, which is made from the flowers and stuff that are around here, out of my own yard probably. I got all kinds of pollen producing flowers in my, or on my property, I guess. Okay. Which bar? I got the caramel's calling my name just because, I don't know, I think Amber might like the caramel too. Oh, feels almost wrong doing this. Try to keep the packaging intact so I can just store it that way. There we go. Okay, I can leave that down there. Let's get this opened. I'm gonna go ahead and break it before I even open it. Feels like little squares. Yep, okay. Flip the flap up. Now it might be sealed. Hope not. No, yep, it is. Oh, come apart. I know it's a little overboard doing what I'm doing, or most people think it is, but I do not. Ooh, look at that color. Wow. That looks way different than what the other one looked when I got it, I think. Yeah, look at that. That's a good looking piece of chocolate. Your parents are beekeepers? Oh, wow, that's cool. I've thought about trying to get into that in my older age. I might end up doing that. All right, here we go. Down the hatch with the dark salted caramel Whitakers. My hands are very sticky. The caramel does not make it taste like it's dark chocolate. Like, it really balances out the dark chocolate. I don't pick up on much salt either. No, yeah, there it is a little bit. Having that liquid caramel inside certainly changed the texture of the chocolate as well. But man, is that good. Did I drop a piece? I did. There it is. It's like, what the heck? I'll have Amber try that because she really likes caramel stuff. All right. What else should I try, Dan? What's on the... I'm a big rum and raisin guy. I am certainly a fan of rum and raisin. So let's just go for it. And hope that this one opens as well as the last one. Nice. Did really good. Heck yeah. Break it. Ooh. I think I broke 2 sections instead of just one. Well, maybe not. Well, it does actually feel like, yep, it was 2. There we go. You can see a raisin in there. Here on the corner. Oh, you can smell it. I mean, it smells like dark chocolate also, but I can certainly smell the rum. Or maybe it's the raisin. Maybe it's both. I don't know. Give it a try. There's a big raisin in there. I wasn't expecting that. Not to be like that. What percentage is this one? 50%. It's like that raisin was perfectly placed in that piece. So it had a full raisin in that piece. That's a really nice, like, difference in texture. Makes it chewy. I'll be eating on this chocolate for the next, couple years probably. I mean, I could definitely shorten that lifespan very easily. I'm not leaving this in this box because I don't want it to leak. And this is going to go in my kitchen, and I'm going to take this like almost like medicine, because it sounds like that's the properties that it has. Okay, Dan, I cannot thank you enough for all of this goodness. The one I haven't tried is the almond. Holy! I will be able to indulge in the dark chocolate bars way more often now. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one. Oh, black plum and roasted almonds. Black plum. It's been a while since I've had a plum. A good plum. I had a cup last time I had them. That's probably what turned me off of having them. This is a 100-gram bar. These are 250-gram bars. Holy, these things are huge. 100-gram bar is big. Like, that's a big bar. And this is the order. I gotta try it. Let's just do it. These are bigger pieces too. Oh, this one ain't going to open like the other ones. Yeah, maybe it does. There we go. Oh yeah, these are much larger pieces. Holy wow. Look at the size of that. And this is black plum and roasted almonds. It's a really cool design. Look at that. It actually looks that way on the inside. It's not just false advertising on the packaging like you see a lot of times here in America. It'll never look the way it does on the packaging. But it's not picking up that red color the way I can see it in person. It's got like this slightly tangy fruitiness to it. You don't get plum in very many things anymore. It seemed to be more common when I was growing up. The little pieces of shaved almond that are in there are really good too. That was an amazing package, Dan. I cannot thank you enough, sir. Holy wow. That's like $500 worth of chocolate over here in America. You would try to buy Whitaker's. Not gonna lie, ruined my appetite just a little bit. What is it, Greg? Oh, in Japan, it's a law that the pictures on the packaging actually must look like the food inside. I'll be daggone, I did not know that. I think it should be the law everywhere. If you're going to advertise something when you're packaging a picture of your food, it should be, I mean, you can cartoonize it, like make it colored, but it still should look the same. But in America, I'm telling you right now, a lot of stuff, the packaging and the commercials and stuff like it won't be the same. It just won't be the same. Especially when you get into the lower quality foods, obviously. When you get into the cheap stuff. But it seems common sense, right? I mean, it's not like we've got these super high expectations if we're going out and buying a meal for $1.50 out of the freezer section. Like, just put what the food actually looks like on your packaging. So we, but that's how they get a lot of people. They're like, oh, wow, that looks like it's pretty decent. Then you get it home, you microwave it, you get it out, and you're like, oh my gosh, this does not, it doesn't look anything like, and it's going to taste like crap too. I mean, obviously. I need a drink of something. I'm going to get into this I'm going to get into this MRE. Let's get into this MRE and get the ball rolling here. Menu number 16, Chicken and Noodles, 22-year-old MRE. And, of course, these are Warnicks, which I think are the best chance of having better food in them. Warnick is the better of the three manufacturers. Again, it's kind of a personal opinion, but kind of not. Like, all the evidence that I've ever seen throughout the years of ration reviewing that's been going on YouTube, it's pretty consistent that Warnicks are usually better. They're not always better with every item, because they don't make every item, I guess, but most of the time the Warnicks are better. So, all right. Well, that seems to be working fairly well. Let's see. Oh, yeah. All right. It's mango in the bag. That's what I figured. See what it does. The peelable seal. Back the camera up just a little bit. There we go. All right. Well. That's weird. Kind of smells like... Have you ever been in like a thrift store or like a discount store, and you know they got a bunch of old curtains and old fabric? That's what that smells like. It smells like old fabric and packaging. It doesn't smell like old MRE plastic or anything like that, because I like that smell. This does not smell like that. I don't know what could be causing that smell. It's not super pungent, but it's definitely there. Huh. Well, that's kind of a new smell to me, as far as inside an MRE. What's this first box going to be? Oh, I thought I could get it out of there easier. Raspberry flavored applesauce. This is applesauce. 146 day, manufactured by the Warnick Company. This is actually manufactured by the Warnick Company. I like a good applesauce. You guys know that. Most of you know that. 22-year-old MRE food. What's next? Here, let's grab this. This is kind of in the way. Are you kidding me? This is the second one that this has happened. Maybe every one of them, actually. The last one I got like this, I dumped a bunch of fresh Tabasco in it, which was not easy to do, because there's a teeny tiny little hole in that thing. And, it's just gone. What the heck, man? There ain't no liquid left in this one. The last one, there was a little bit. That's weird. It's, like, consistent now. That sucks. Alright, there's our partially biodegradable MRE spoon, of course. Right there. Next up, we've got some peanut butter. Very nice. We've got some, oh, that's weird. Some pretzels. Huh. I guess they were made by the Warnick Company and packaged by the Warnick Company. They're probably like rolled gold or something. Being from 2004, that would be the brand that I would expect that would be in there. What else we got? Whoa! What? No way. Look at those. That is cool. Wow. Yeah, that I mean, the last, I think, 3 2004s that I've opened that had Tabasco in the accessory packet, they've all been empty. Here's what I've done to the last one. It's still kind of stuck to the side, as you can see, but this one still had a little bit of liquid in it, and I put some more Tabasco in it and shook it up. You can see there's a little bit in there. I used this last time I ate, because this Tabasco is considerably hotter than just regular, like, modern Tabasco. This is way darker. You can see. But yeah, it sucks that it has evaporated like that. Man, these are cool. Love this packaging. Special offer, fun games, and more. Look at those. I love the blue. Wow. Dang. That is cool. 22-year-old pack of M&Ms right there. Ooh, we got a cocoa beverage powder. That's a score. Yes. Regular M&Ms are like the packaging's typically brown. Peanut ones are yellow, like this. These are old, but you get the picture. Standard M&Ms, typically the packaging is brown, like this. Why did I just knock off of there? Oh, don't. Oh. Huh. I don't know what happened to them. But yeah, I had a bunch of packs of M&Ms out not too long ago. Huh. Next up, some MRE crackers. Very good, very good. I'm up here, you guys can see them. And here's our flameless ration heater, which we won't be using. And last but definitely not least, we've got our chicken, vegetables, and noodles in sauce. 230 calories on that. 930 milligrams of sodium, which is a lot, but I've seen worse. 2 grams of dietary fiber. 19 grams of protein, that's not bad. 120 milligrams of cholesterol, that's a lot. And only, 9 grams of fat's not bad. 2.5 grams of saturated fat's not great, but it should make it taste good. All right, and that is everything. Man, I wish you guys could smell that. I don't know what that is. I don't smell any Tabasco either. Like, I don't even get a hint of the Tabasco, which I should. With that thing being empty, it had to have evaporated inside this sealed bag, so it should smell, at least somewhat, like Tabasco, and it does not. It absolutely does not. All right, what's the calorie count on this? 100 calories on the applesauce. Only 110 on the, pretzels are low calorie, low fat snack. There's only 110 calories in those, more than what I figured. We got 260 calories in the peanut butter. This is your original 1.5 ounce of peanut butter, which is what it should still be. The M&Ms have 200 calories. So that's 460, 570, 670, 180 in this. So 670 plus be 750, 850, 850 plus 190, 850, 950, 1040 plus this. 1,270 calories minus whatever's in the accessory packet. Huh. Pretty weak on the calorie count. All right, let's get this chicken and noodles rolling into some hot water. This is packed for the Warnick Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Does it say who packed it? Nope. 195th day. I don't see anything else. Nope. No idea who made it. Ingredients list is looking a little long, ain't it? But after looking at it, it's not bad. I mean, there's a little bit in there I don't like. But overall, mostly food and seasonings. Not bad. What's bonita fish? What? Bonito fish extract? Huh? Hydrolyzed wheat gluten, lactic acid, autolyzed yeast extract, bonita fish extract? What is that? Somebody tell me what bonita fish extract is right here? Or bonito? Am I saying that right? I don't know if I am or not. Anyway, that's weird. That's weird. That's a new one. Huh. Be right back. Okay. Set a timer. Set a timer for 3.5 minutes. It's going to do it. It's not going to do it. Set a timer for 3.5 minutes.
Something went wrong. Please try again. 30 seconds. Starting now.
Okay. Tray. Oh, we got an accessory pack. We'll do that after we get this stuff. There we go. Huh, is my tray bent? Huh. Butter. Applesauce. Pretzels. Okay. Get rid of this stuff. Accessory packet. Okay, first up, obviously, our never opened, and it doesn't smell like Tabasco. What? I mean, just slightly. Has a hint I don't know, man. I don't know where the Tabasco went. That's really weird. We got our green military issue United States government matches made by, of course, D.D. Bean and Sons. You know that. There they are. Black matches, red tip, strike on back, of course. We got a pack of red, Taster's Choice. That'll be interesting to find out if that's any good. We got a package of non-dairy creamer. Jonas Brothers? Nope. Transpacker Services Corporation. We got a pack of United States issued butt ration, or napkin, or whatever you want to use that as. A 4-gram package of iodized salt. A 4-gram package of Domino sugar. And a moist towelette. My hands are sticky, so let's see if this is still actually a moist towelette. And it is. It is. Look at that. I don't know if you guys could see. Look. Why is it not focusing? See that? These things are very fragile. Fragile. French Christmas story. Yeah. 22 years ain't nothing. I'll tell you this much. If you'd left this wet nap sitting in a kitchen somewhere in a, you know, like a porcelain bowl on the counter or something like that, this wet nap would no longer be wet. All right, let me go get that out of the... I hear you, I hear you. But it is de-sticking my hands from the chocolate and the honey that I had gotten on them. So that's nice. All right. And last but not least is the green chiclet style gum. Almost forgot about it, but there it is. All right. Won't need these. Won't need this. And won't need these. Or that. Okay. Accessory packet. Alright, let me go get that main real quick. Alright, I hope this chicken and noodles is as good as it could be. I don't know exactly how good that is, but still edible is I hope it's good. Not even just still edible. I hope it's actually good. Alright, let me get rid of this stupid Tabasco bottle because it's more or less worthless and useless. I mean, with these ones that have dried up like this and it's got this super dark Tabasco stain on the inside, I don't mind putting new Tabasco in there and trying to get that to loosen up, but it usually doesn't do a great job. I mean, this one did turn the brand new Tabasco that I put in it dark, so I guess if I'd have laid it on the side, let me do that, where it evaporated, that would have helped. Get into this. Start with crackers. Alright. I actually did hear it that time. First time I've actually heard the hiss in, I don't know, a few weeks. Crackers smell great. One of them is dropping some crumbs on the case though. Huh. I mean, they're not broken, they're just, huh. One of them's a little crummy. Why am I doing that? I gotta make drinks. Let's start with cup from Dan. Tim Tam time. Let's see if this is any good. I mean, the odds are it's likely not, but we shall find out. Oh no. Oh, there that is. Just a furry mess of something you don't want to consume. This part was looking, I mean, it looks like mold. It really does. Oh yeah, look at the fur. That has got to be mold. Really like to send this off and get it analyzed, but look at that. See that? It's like hair. Even a little bit on the tip of my knife. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. I don't know. It's got to be mold, right? Especially with it being furry like that. We've tried to figure this out for years. For a long time, I was thinking that it might just be separation of the caffeine crystals. But when I see something furry like this, yeah, I don't think so. See, that's like, I don't know. It's like spider webs almost, like little miniature tiny spider webs. Definitely don't want to consume that. Alright. But I do have coffee here, and I'm always up for a good cup of coffee. Let's do a taster's choice. Nescafe. Kind of replacing the red taster's choice with a modern taster's choice. I mean, it looks about the same as what that should have looked. There's a lot more of it here. Holy. I mean, this is supposed to make an 8-ounce cup. I don't know how much each individual tube weighs. Feels like way more than 2 grams. Might be like a 2.5 gram tube. And that's a lot of coffee. A lot. Actually. A lot more than I'm used to out of the typical cup that I'm making like this. Alright, Domino sugar. Perfectly fine. And our creamer. Perfectly fine. Oh yeah. Very nice. Okay. Let's do... We don't have a cold drink, which kind of sucks. Do our cocoa beverage powder in a big cup. Oh yeah, looking good. This is not quite like the 80s and 90s cocoa beverage powder. They changed the cocoa content. Definitely less cocoa content. It's not as grainy with the sugar either. So I'm not sure how they smoothed that out. But I could certainly just eat the powder. It's like eating brownie mix or something almost. I'll bet you could almost make brownies with this. Add the creamer. A little bit of... Go ahead and add the sugar. Maybe pulverize a little piece of cracker. Like maybe a quarter of a cracker. And then just mix it, mix it, mix it. You might be able to actually get some sort of patty of a brownie-like to come out of the cocoa beverage powder if you got creative like that. All right, let me go get some water in these, and I'll be right back. Coffee, about 8 ounces of water in the cocoa beverage powder. Use my Aussie shovel to mix that up. Kind of themed in the Australia tonight because of Dan's so generous package of full of chocolate, the scarf and the honey and the kind note. That might actually need a little bit more water. I mean, I'm sure it's fine the way it is. I'm about out of water in my stupid machine in there. I need to go get a 5-gallon jug of water for it. Of course, we can't consume our water here. It's so bad. And I seen them having issues just right down the road with the area the data center is. Don't get me started on that topic. I'll give this a knead real quick before I forget. Wow. This actually feels almost like it didn't need it. Almost like it didn't need needed. Or it wasn't in need of needing. Pretzels. Kind of a weird thing to put in a ration, if you ask me. It's like, aren't we going for calories here? And you want to put pretzels in here? But okay. Whatever floats your boat. What is that? Huh, that's weird. It's like... Oh, that's off the package Dan sent. That's what that is. Huh, I didn't see that on there earlier. Weird. Huh, those are not rolled gold, like skinny sticks. I don't know. Ooh, those don't smell good. Oh no. Those stink. Those just smell, they just smell old. Huh. I don't know if I've ever had pretzels any older than this before. 22-year-old pretzels. Maybe. I don't think so, though. I think these are probably the oldest pretzels I've ever had. What do I do with my bowls? Here they are. All right. This is going to be raspberry flavored. It's Zapple sauce, before they had Zapple sauce, more or less. I'm just going to cut a corner off of this thing, I think. Try to mitigate the possible mess. Alright, let's see. Oh, hang on. Might be a little bit of dust in my bowl here. No, maybe not. It's hard to tell with these Melmac bowls, man. They're like, they look dirty, always, but they're not. Alright, here we go. Ooh, that's looking a little weirdly brown. Not in a good, like, no. It should have had more of a red tint to it, I would think. Red raspberry. Huh. Well, yeah. And we didn't get any, like, official real dessert in this thing, so. Alright. Alright, time for the main event. Well, smaller the hole, more the control here. Real quick on the peanut butter. Here's our bowl. And let's take a look at our chicken and noodles. Ooh. The retort's looking a little worse for wear. There's no real delamination or anything going on. It's very hot. Very hot. Eesh. Alright, let's just give it a rip. Oh, yeah, that ripped really easy. Okay. Feels very plasticky. That does not look like the chicken and noodles I had last time. I mean, it smells alright. It's a little bit metallic smelling, not slightly. Not bad, though. Yeah, that does not look like... that doesn't look at all like the chicken and noodles that I had last time. I got to get me some new MREs again. Ow. Ooh. Totally different noodle. Chicken itself is all pink. I don't know if it's dark meat or... I don't know. Alright, that's about all I'm getting out of that. I guess it's more on the dark meat side of things. I don't know. It's got mushrooms in it. I don't know if the last chicken and noodles I had mushrooms in it either. I don't recall. Don't matter, we're digging in. Ooh, look at them chicken. Look at the mushrooms. Not a big mushroom guy. I'll eat them, but I don't like them. I don't get them on pizza. I don't fry them. I just don't eat mushrooms. Unless they're in something like this, or if they're on a pizza or something, I'll eat them. I just don't prefer them or order them myself. Alright, well, my mouth is watering. That's a good sign. It does smell slightly metallic, but that's kind of to be expected. 22-year-old chicken and noodles. Probably not going to top the fresher chicken and noodles that I had, but let's see if it ruins my outlook on chicken and noodles. Down the hatch. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Something's definitely off about it. I mean, it's very metallic in flavor. I can smell it whenever, but it doesn't smell anywhere near as strong as it is in flavor. It's not so bad that I won't eat it, but it's pretty bad. Most people would not take another bite of it. Mm. It's lacking like the soup part, the binder, the overall gravy or whatever to bring it all together. The noodles they have no texture left. Kind of to be expected. I mean, they're not complete mush though. I mean, as you can see, I can drag it around through there with my fork and it doesn't disintegrate. So, I mean, it's not. You know. Actually, you know what? The noodles texture is pretty good. It was just getting lost in the chicken. It does need something. It needs salt. Even though its sodium level is already so high, it doesn't taste like it. It just doesn't taste like it. Let me add a little salt to this bad boy. And see if that helps it out. With some salt. A little too much salt. But that certainly helped out that metallic flavor that it has going on. I don't like. There's no weird coating of the mouth, numbness, anything like that. So it's in my opinion edible. It's not great, but it's not horrible. And I'd say that I would have said that about this when it was brand new. You know, it's not great, but it's not horrible. So, with a cracker. Wow. That really adds some interesting contrasting flavor. I don't know how. I mean, the malted barley in these things is so strong that it tends to overtake anything that you try to mix it with, even peanut butter or jam, anything like. The malted barley flavor is so strong. It's good. It's just overpowering. Bigger bite of chicken and noodles with a smaller bite of cracker. It evens it out pretty good. It's not bad. It's not great. I will say, the modern chicken and noodles is much better, but this is also not bad. I don't put them in the same ballpark together, but it's not bad. It needs some Tabasco or something, so let's give it some of that. I got all these Tabascos up here. I don't know when any of them are from. This has got a 1258 on it. This one's got a 1328. This one's got a 1200, which is clearly a different color than these others. So that's probably out of like a 90, 91 or something, or I don't know, 11 or 12 maybe. We'll just use one of these. 1328. Thought I had it. Okay. Alright, a little Tabasco. Might help it out. Might help it out. We will find out. It's actually a good bit of Tabasco because I'm eating it all in one bite. But alright, here we go with the cracker. I don't know how, but I can't even taste the Tabasco. That's a lot. More than I want on it. Try again. Because that bite, I didn't taste any Tabasco. I know there was some on it. What in the world? I can't taste the Tabasco at all. There's something wrong with me? Alright, hold on. I'm just going to taste this Tabasco right out of the bottle. Whoa. Okay, so it's not the Tabasco. It's got to be like this dish neutralizing it. There's all kinds of it right there. All kinds. First two bites I didn't taste it at all. Huh. I mean, I can barely taste it. And that bite had all kinds of Tabasco on it. All kinds, in my personal opinion. I mean, it's different for everybody. But enough that I should have... That bite should have been mainly flavored as Tabasco. Well, that's a first for me. Something that kind of neutralizes the flavor of the Tabasco. I don't know if it's just that. I don't know. That's weird. Can't explain that one. Pretzels. Pretzels. These might be good with the chicken and noodles. Oh. I forgot these smelled the way they did. Those taste like sorbitol almost. It used to be in the old chocolate discs that would go bad out of the MCIs. Why did I eat 3 of those? That was stupid. Those taste really weird. They don't taste like a pretzel at all. Not even. I mean, I guess the texture and stuff a little bit, but not flavor. And I'm going to eat a little bit with a bite here. Maybe that'll be better than the crackers. Huh. I don't know. If your knees don't crack, you're a kid. What if your knee don't work right? My knee does not work right anymore, hardly at all. All right, I gotta wash that down. The salt that's on here was kind of like a nice little added bonus to that bite, but these things taste so weird. I will say that the chicken and noodles kind of overpowered the weird flavor that's coming from these. Man, I wish you guys could try these. These are, I'm sure, certainly edible to anyone. Hang on. What's in these? Enriched wheat flour, which has niacin, reduced iron, thiamine, mononitrate, riboflavin, and folic acid. Salt, corn syrup, partially hydrogenated soybean and or cottonseed oil, yeast, bicarbonate, and bicarbonate of sodium. Huh. Well, I can't explain what that flavor is. Because there's, I mean, other than the oil's maybe gone rancid. I mean, they do kind of, I guess maybe a little bit taste like old vegetable oil. Huh. I think this is the coffee. Coffee. Not old. Hot. It's only the cream and sugar in this is old. Went down the wrong hole. Ow. Well, that sucked. Try again. That was better. All right. Ooh, we got some separation of liquids going on here. All right. Raspberry applesauce. Very wrong color. Very oxidized, I would assume. Heat stressed, whatever. Let's see. Huh. Well, that doesn't taste right. Taste old in some of the right ways and in some of the wrong ways. It kind of has a bitter flavor to it. I'll tell you what, I can pick up on the raspberry in this better than I've been able to in other raspberry applesauces. It's also kind of cooling to the mouth and refreshing. It's not bad. It needs a cracker. As much as you can get on a cracker. That's how you eat it. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for that weird bitterness, which is kind of on the aftertaste, that would be a good dessert. Peanut butter. Yep. So, if you guys were around last week, I had the Canadian peanut butter. And the second ingredient in the Canadian peanut butter was sugar. And the second ingredient in this is sugar. So roasted peanuts and sugar. So maybe they're the same. I think the Canadian tastes sweeter. The older peanut butter is better. It's saltier. It's got a slight sweetness to it. It's rich, creamy, flavorful. The stuff now is like dull in flavor. Let's do one of these, two of these weird pretzels with some peanut butter. Is that a thing? Pretzels and peanut butter? I've never done that before. I mean, I've had those puffy pretzels with peanut butter in them, so it's kind of the same thing. Except these don't taste like pretzels at all. Rancid vegetable oil and sorbitol. Chemicals. That's what this tastes like. I don't like it. Nope. That's horrible. That is horrible. Alright. Let's try this. A little bit of peanut butter. Some of this. See if that combination works. No. No, 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 no. Ew. Ooh. That is the opposite of a good combination. Ugh. Oh, yuck. Not good. I put too much water in this. I don't ever make it in a big cup like that. But this cup only holds 12 ounces brimful. But I think the cocoa beverage powder only calls for 6, which probably would have been about there. Nah, 6 ounces would be about right there, probably. So I did add just a little bit too much. But I usually do add 8 ounces myself. All right. Going to have these ones, these ones. That's what I'm going to have. Okay. I don't know. I gotta keep these. I've never gotten these before. And I would feel like a fool for opening these up right now. I mean, this has got to be added to the collection. Love the color. Of course, I could eat them and flatten the packaging out. not a big fan of that. Like, if I'm going to collect a food item, I want it to be in there, unless it's something that's just like extremely. There's only a couple things that I would consider just collecting only the packaging. And I have a couple things that I've got like a 1930s Mars bar that I saved. Hey, I'm getting ready to have a smoke from Delicious right now. Deciding whether to have the one from France, which is don't know how to pronounce it, Galoise, or a Sparta. I'll let my nose decide. Okay. Don't smell anything at all like American tobacco. I don't know why I haven't stuck my nose in these before. I have not, though. Wow, those smell really different from each other, too. Really different. I'm going to have one of these from France. It smells kind of earthy, almost like you're standing in a vegetable garden. That's what this tobacco smells like. It's got a green, like a green scent to it. It's interesting. Doesn't taste the same on the dry pull as it does on what it smells like. Actually, don't like the way it tastes on the dry pull. Tastes a lot like the filter, I think. For a chuck roast? Wait, what? Can I sometimes send you some ingredients for a chuck roast? I mean, yeah, if you want to, I can whip up a chuck roast. Won't be long, and I'm going to have a food truck, guys. I'm going to own one. I'm not going to be running it. That's my son. My son, I'm going to give him a chance to step up to the plate, take over running a food truck, and all that's going to happen real fast. So I'm not going to waste a bunch of time. And some other things are already happening and in the works. So not that I still couldn't back out of what I'm doing, but I got no plans on doing that. It's just life is about to, I don't know, become a lot more interesting and involved. I'll tell you what, he needs to really focus on, and because I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to focus on this myself, is like name, the menu, like being creative with the menu. And I would like to either have either be really creative with the name of the spot, or have a very not so PC but very creative menu items. Not everything, but a few menu items that are more on the creative side of not being exactly politically correct, but still acceptable. Yeah, like there's places that push the boundaries of what's acceptable. Phoenix, I'm your guy. You're my guy. You are? Okay. Well, keep it simple. I've certainly ran into that enough recently in my life that just kind of struck home for me. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna get complicated with it because I'm not gonna be super involved with it. And since I'm not gonna be super involved with it, I will be involved but not super involved with it. I'm gonna make him have to keep it simple. I don't want a menu. I don't want a menu with 20 food items on it to start with. I don't want that. I want him to be able to pump food out, good food, and just knock it out. $4.20 snack foods. So food truck around here. So I'm going to be set up. You can see a McDonald's from where my truck will be, or trailer, whatever, food trailer, food truck, depending on. I haven't bought it yet, so. Wait, you know me when to know what I think. I think you meant think. From what I'd say. Yeah, I want to keep it simple. That is something that, and I even need to rein myself back in sometimes. But at the same time, even 20 food items might be too many to start out with. I don't know. That's not my profession. I'm not a fast food cook, line cook, whatever you want to call it. But my son has been managing restaurants around here for years now. This shouldn't be that. I don't think this should be that far out of his wheelhouse, except instead of him managing and the owner taking care of orders and budgets and he's going to have to take charge of all of that. I think he understands that. I mean, he went to college for business management. He should be able to handle this. I think. I'm just talking. I'm just thinking out loud right now, but the way I'm looking at this is it's giving him a chance to succeed at something that he's already doing, that he seems to have somewhat of a passion for doing. And if he can really step up and deliver on it, then that could end up being something very lucrative for him, to where he can get it to the point where he ain't got to be there running them. I would think, an expansion into other towns with trucks or whatever. But I'm giving him a shot. Get my family involved, maybe. It'll turn into something where everybody can work at it. And worst case scenario, I sell the truck for what I got in it. I mean, and I'm out, whatever. So, which will make some of that back in supplies and stuff. But I want them to make a decent living wage, because I don't feel like the jobs that they've had are paying them well enough. So hopefully this thing can pay them well enough, and maybe I can make a little tiny bit of profit out of it. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. I'm not even really worried about myself making the money off of it. I'm more worried about them having decent paychecks and serving a good product. So those two things can be achieved, I will be happy. But it's going to happen fast. I'd say within the next month it should be up and running. That's my goal. It's July 19th now. So hopefully by the end of August it's up and running. I definitely want to have it up by then. Try to get a car show in. This cigarette, it tastes more like the filter smelled and dry hit than it does taste like the tobacco smelled. It's got kind of a weird aftertaste. I wouldn't call it a light. I'd call it more on the medium side of things. Wait, we got birthdays coming up. Yours 10 days from today? Oh, next month. Yours is in August. And Greg, yours is on the 29th of next month. So yours is a month and 11 days. Wait, how many days is in this month? How many days is in July? 30 or 31? I don't know. I don't know. Was last year a leap year? That's in February. February 29th, right? Oh, 31 in July? Okay. And August. Okay. 31 in both of those months. So that adds a couple extra days. Well, it adds at least an extra day for my schedule. Golden Tiger Virgo. Born in 86. So you're 4 years younger than I am. Well, you'd be a Virgo with, I don't know about the Golden Tiger thing. I don't know what that is. But yeah, Phoenix, you'd be a Virgo with Greg. Greg, we should chat sometime. I've done a whole lot of stuff since the last time we talked. And I could update you on everything that I've done. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. In today's world, I don't think it's uncommon. That's for sure. I need to figure. I don't know what our time difference is. What time is it for you right now? It's 13 minutes after midnight for me, Mr. Gregory. Eight hours, so it's 8 a.m. for you, or it's 4 p.m. Oh, it's 7 a.m. there. So 7 hours. 7 hours difference. So we're up to the regular morning time for Gregory. I knew as soon as I seen these that I didn't want to open them. I was like, holy cow. I don't know how uncommon these are, but I know that I've never seen them and it come out of an MRE. That's the first time I've ever seen them. I've seen crispy, but out of a vintage MRE, I guess is what I should say. This had to be very early on of the start of the crispy M&Ms. Let me just Google when crispy M&Ms came out, because I am curious. When did crispy M&Ms come out? 1998. And it looks like or no, 1999. Sorry, no, 1998 as a limited edition item, followed by an official wider rollout in 1999. So, 2005, they were discontinued in the United States due to lagging sales, though they remained continuously available in Europe and Australia. 2015, permanently returned to the American shelves in January of 2015 following an aggressive, decade-long fan petition. I'll be. Isn't that something? And check out, let me go back in. Let me show you what the original packaging looked like. Right here. The 1998 or 99. Is this the limited one? This is the original packaging, right here. Ours are a bit different. Ours was a year before they were discontinued. So, whole lot of different designs on these bags, it looks like. This one's even different. Oh, this is an international version. And I think this is what the modern ones look like. More of like a almost purple bag. Oh, yeah, that's not real. That's AI. And then there's this. Also, this might be what the modern ones look like now. They might be green now. I don't know. It says discontinued item. There's a whole bunch of different green designs down. Well, not a whole bunch, but a couple different green designs down through there. What? It was a pretty great Joe movie? Gone Fishing. Who was in that? For some reason, I was sure they came in a red pack. Huh. That sounds right to me, too. That looks in my brain, the image that I have in my brain. That's why when I saw these, I was like, I don't remember them looking like this. I really don't. But, oh, wait. You mean like that? What does this say? There they are. Look at that. Focus. There you go. There it is. But that looks like more of a Middle Eastern packaging because of the writing that's on it. Huh. I don't remember them looking like that either. Chuck roast with Jim Beam soaked in, and some onion, bell peppers, mushrooms, some carrots, potatoes, some bacon wrapped on it. For a chuck roast, bacon. Would that not be very soggy bacon? Like, how would you cook that? Would you smoke it? Would you put it in a grill? You'd want to slow cook that. So crock pot is where I go with the chuck roast. Like, that's where my mind goes with the chuck roast. And I'm maybe wrong. Most of the roast I've ever had come from a crock pot. Or we have a Instapot, which makes an amazing roast. Like, it does. That's what those things are made for. Like, in my opinion, they make an amazing. Well, they do a lot of foods pretty well. Instapots are great. I really like the whole pressure cooking aspect of it. I am curious if we can find vintage crispy. Nope, that's just crusty. S crispy M and M's. Search. Huh. Well, that's wild. This is a original first year 1998 Crispy M&M's advertising promo announcement with a hanging decal. So I can't tell. I don't think this is actually a package of M&M's. Yeah, it's not showing the back of it for some reason. So this is, I mean, it could be. Check this out. And they've got like a little thing with that hole poked in it. Huh. They want $40 for that though. I don't know what it is. Let me read the decal, the description, if there even is one. Yep, this is just an advertising promo announcement. 29-inch with hanging decal. So that's like it's a weird advertisement piece. 29-inch. That means it'd be like, that thing be huge. Huh. That's what that says right there, though. It does say 29-inch. No, that's backwards for you guys, but with hanging decal. So I don't know if that whole thing was hanging and like spinning, or I don't know. That's weird. It looks like a package, but maybe not. Anyway, let me look and see if there's any other ones. It's not looking like any sealed packs on here. There's new ones. New, only at Target. M&M Marshmallow Crispy White Chocolate Bag. That ain't them. Same thing. White chocolate crispy, crispy, white chocolate crispy. There are none. Ooh. That's interesting. Are the M&Ms? Oh, wait a second. What? Come on. Where's the date? No way. There's no date on them. They're claiming this is from the 80s. Wait. And it's a box of M&Ms. Plain. That is the vintage logo. But it says right there in the bottom right-hand corner, fundraising pack. And then there's some sticker that says it's something like they were charging $3 for this box. And look how small it is in that guy's hand. $3 for this box in the 80s or 90s? Nope, no, no. This would have been 50 cents. If that, a quarter. Probably a quarter. In the 80s. 50 cents in the 90s. Tell me I'm wrong. By the end of the 90s, it might have been $1. Maybe. Definitely not what they're claiming. I'd have to do more research on it. There's literally not a pack of these on eBay for sale at the moment. Of course, I could go back into past sales and auctions, but they're just not on here. There's some crispy, like, sales promotion items. There's a watch, a hat, vintage ad print, a lunchbox, another watch. They want $15 for the watch. I don't know. I'd say you could probably get $40 out of this pack to your like hardcore M&M collectors, since they're clearly not available. And I'd say there like very few of these from this first era, this first run era, got saved. So they were around basically from 99 to 2005, which is a 7-year run, right? 9, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7-year run. Yeah. Pretty cool. Probably not too many packs of these out there. In MREs. I haven't seen the topic of the shooting come up any of the podcast circles or anything of that nature lately. That topic in itself is such a can of worms. Most people, I think, this is my opinion, I think most people choose to not even open that can of worms because they like it. This is 2017 is when that happened. The country music festival. It was the what was the name of the event? Huh. I've spent so many hours and so much time on just that specific topic alone. It came at a time where I was hurt and laid up a lot. Like I had a lot of, I mean, I couldn't do hardly anything. So, but I do remember, weirdly enough, that me and Amber were out to eat that night at a restaurant that has burned down now. And not long after that, probably it burned down. I remember, like, we were sitting at dinner, closing the place down when it was happening, and I was getting, like, seeing the videos popping up on YouTube. So we probably didn't get out of there until 10:30, or it might have been 11. I don't know, 11 something. I don't know. I don't remember what time they closed. Probably 11 something. Pre-COVID stuff was open a lot later. And I knew immediately that night that they weren't telling us the truth. They haven't told us the truth about anything that happened that day. It was October 1st. Yeah, October 1st of 2017. But I've also, okay, so switch topics. Let me see if I can pull these images up. I don't know if I can. I don't know if Google will give them to me. I would like to get your consensus on a question. Candace Owens has the photos. All right, you can get mad about that and not like her. That's fine. But the photos that she has from inside that vehicle, I don't know of anyone else that has. I don't even know how she got them and got access to them. But real quick, let me preface that by saying, and I didn't know this until somewhat recently that this is how this went down. But the vehicle that they put him in and drove him to the hospital in, and none of his security called 911, and not one of them pulled their weapon, which is extremely suspect. Extremely suspect. Think about that. All right, just think about that. Give that a few minutes thought. Very, very strange. The vehicle. He was in it for roughly 10 to 12 minutes from what we can gather. From the time that they put him in it to the time they got him to the hospital and took him out of it. And they turned away 2 paramedics at the vehicle. And literally Google's not giving me the images that Candace has showed on her show. So maybe the only way for me to pull those images up is, well, maybe this will give me some of them. There's close-up photos of the floorboard, the seat. Okay, so all right, look. See all this stuff in the floor? This is also, I don't know, like a Walmart, McDonald's bag, something, I don't know, like a McDonald's, I don't know, fast food of some kind, Grubhub, I don't know, bag that was in the vehicle that they used. What's this? Some sort of list. Anyway, there are photos that show the seat here and also the carpet right here, like this. Here, can I zoom into that? Somewhere, that's the wrong side. Anyway, I've seen them. I've seen the photos. You can go and find the Candace episode where she shows the photos, and that was I want to say months ago, probably the first time. The glass and the plastic that is in the vehicle, in those photos, there's zero talk about it, zero explanation, whatever. They've addressed that. Well, they haven't. They've not addressed that. That's a big deal. That is a big deal. Number one, obviously, that let's talk about the vehicle still. Immediately after this, within days, from the timeline that I've come to understand, now this I could be wrong because I'm going on other people's information, but within days of that vehicle was never taken into evidence. It was never wiped for evidence. It was never touched by any criminal investigation team whatsoever. Because their story, their narrative. Well, why would they need to? Well, I still, even with their narrative, think that this should have been looked at, dealt with, and everything gathered. That didn't happen. That vehicle was detailed, and then what? Sent to auction. Baffles my mind. I mean, had I known that, I would have tried to buy the thing. For real. I don't know what year Suburban it was. It probably would have cost a little more than what I would have wanted to spend on it, but I would have got it and put that thing up, because they had to miss something. They had to. Well, they didn't have to, and they probably didn't. Anyway, that alone is a gazillion red flags to me. And then Charlie, talking about the vehicle, Charlie Kirk, the vehicle that they put him in afterwards. It had all the, like, there's pictures that are out there of, and I don't know who took them, but it's clearly this, like, it's this grouping of pictures right here, like, it's this stuff right here, but there are closer up pictures, and there's like piles of black glass and black plastic. No explanation for that. My thoughts are it looks like it was caused from his road mic, because I've also watched video breakdowns of people that were opening those mics up, and when they opened that mic up, they had to break the front glass on it to open it up, and it looked just like that. I guess any black glass could look the same, and plastic could look the same. So it is what it is. I mean, that could have been easily. I mean, you could have easily told what was what had that just been collected, right? And then the vehicle being detailed, cleaned, detailed, and auctioned off. And then they dig up the crime scene. Very familiar and very reminiscent of the 2017 Vegas incident. Because there was a guy that within 2 days was live streaming the entire concert venue. Like, he had a camera set up on a knoll or on a ledge or something that was looking down inside of the venue, and it hit the wide angle that he had on his camera covered most of it. And there were these FBI agents walking around with FBI jackets, coveralls, whatever. It was on their back in yellow, with rollers, paint rollers, trays of black paint, going around, rolling over anywhere there were bullet strikes. That exists. That's out there. That happened within 2 or 3 days after that incident. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? That makes no sense to me. Why would the FBI be painting? That's not your job. At all. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's so stupid that they think we're so stupid, too. It does look like Charlie was. I don't know. All I can say is I don't know. What I can say is there was a whole lot of things there that we'll never get back. We'll never get the crime scene back. We'll never get what was in that vehicle back. The shirt's missing. How odd is that? That's pretty odd. That's pretty odd. I don't care what anybody says. Somebody who's the victim of a, well, let's just call it what it is, one of the biggest public figures to be taken out like that, especially in this era, and his shirt's missing? That's crazy. That's crazy. I agree, Phoenix, because I was one of them. I was one of them that when September of 2001 came around, and I watched it all unfold just like every other American that wasn't there. You know, those of us that had to experience it from a television screen, watched it all go down, listened to what they told us, and then somehow believed the bull crap that they told us. I don't know how I believed it. I don't know how I believed it. It's so ludicrous that I certainly feel like an idiot. That's for sure. I think we all did. Well, not all of us. 99% of us. There was very few people that fought that narrative in the very beginning. Yeah, it was. We were all in shock. I think you're right. I mean, I think that's at least a big part of it, because it was like, no, we'd never seen anything like this, and it happened all in front of us, and it's like, and it brought everybody together. Like, the world came together on this issue, and I have got to figure out, like, write this down so I can tell you guys what this was, because they have something floating around us in space right now that measures human energy, like when we're in sync with each other and on the same page, and like we were after that time, we emit some sort of positive energy that is it's measurable by whatever the satellite is that measures energy. It exists. The government has it out there, and it just came out last week or week before that Space Force, our space military branch, has hundreds, if not thousands, of satellites circling the Earth right now that belong to them. They admitted this, to obviously monitor the enemies and surveil enemy activities and whatnot. Surely they'd never look at what we're doing here. No, not them and the flock cameras and all the other companies owned by Flock that are popping up everywhere. Our town just told them absolutely not, and our town went ahead and put cameras up anyways and said, oh, that's what they told people. They're just run-of-the-mill type of cameras you can pick up at Walmart, and that way if anything happens, we can have a record of it. I'm calling bull. Everything in this area and this town stinks, especially since they've been starting this Monarch data center down here. It's Google, largest one in the world. It's sickening, guys, what they're doing to this area. I want to build another one 10 minutes up the road from me. We're building a nuclear plant literally directly across the river from me, right here on the river, so I will be able to see it from my house. Just going to restrict river access over there. It's going to get. They don't take security at nuke plants lightly at all. Not at all. I don't know what we're doing. How we got so divided. I know how it happened. But why are we letting them play that game? We are being played. We are being played. Yes, time to move. I know. Trust me. I've been having the discussions. I've been weighing my options, trying to figure out what my future looks like, because it's not here. I don't feel like I want to stick around here. Why would I? I think anybody who has enough money to move away from here is doing it right now. I think most of them, the ones that are even smarter, like they're literally either already gone or they're doing it right now. Now, here's the flip side of that. Right now, this stuff is killing property values. In most places, in my opinion, and what I see. But in a couple years, when they got a few people that are going to be working all this crap that want to live here, I think that will very temporarily drive property values up. And I think that's probably going to be the key time to try to get out, is to try to catch those people, sell to those people, and get out of Dodge. Because this place is going down so fast. And like literally they've destroyed the one place down there that has had tourists coming here for decades. You know, I got in an argument with a guy, elderly guy. I call him elderly. He's probably pushing 70. Definitely in his 60s. Over this stupid data center. Tried to tell me I didn't know shit. Alright, dude. What do you know? And we started having a discussion, and by the time I was done, he had definitely settled down. And I said, man, have you ever even seen one in person? Have you ever driven to one of these data centers that they built within driving distance of here and looked at one? He's like, no, I've never. And I said, you need to. You need to lay eyes on one and see what they're doing. You need to also spend some time on research, see what they're doing to the water, see what they're doing, the sound. They're wanting to run 1,000 large diesel generators, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week down there. We can't, like that. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. If you that's way more pollution than just building a coal-fired power plant right there. Just go ahead and build a coal-fired power plant right there instead of running 1,000 diesel generators 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Could you imagine? I can't even imagine what the noise of that would be like. I can't, like, I'll bet you I could hear it here. Like I said, I'm about 15-ish minutes down the upriver from it. I'll bet you I can hear them here. Because it's, as the crow flies, I'm closer to it than that. But as the crow flies, I might be, I don't know, 8-9 miles away from it probably, if you flew over the hills and stuff. I don't know, I'm just guessing. Well, they don't need to make money, they just need to make the power to power the plant. But their whole telling us that they need all this water is a lie. According to the guy that built the first data center, the first one ever, and he owns multiple of them, he's so anti this crap, and he's come out, and I looked the guy up, and I've spent my time looking him up. I'd have to pull it up, but he's like, I don't know why they're telling everybody this, and I don't know why they're doing this whole water consumption thing. He's like, they don't need water to run the data centers. So I don't know. I don't know why they're doing that. Why couldn't they just run air conditioning units in them places and keep them fairly cool? They could. They can. They should. Well, they're wanting to build a pipeline to this one too, from the John Ames plant, and go through the country. And okay, Tim, Largest one in the world is what they're building right down. Look it up. Look it up. It's a tragedy. It's a I can't express how nasty it is. But the scale of this is, I don't know. I guess we haven't seen anything like this yet. I mean, it's not the scale of the what's his name that's wanting to build that one in Utah, but I don't think that'll ever happen. But it's big. Could be wrong, just thinking out loud. You need to turn that down. Alright. I'm going to have to get off of here. Super happy about this. I don't know where I'm going to put them yet, but they need their own little box. Alright, guys. I'm going to have to get off of here, and I don't know. Should probably be able to see you guys next weekend. Mom's got surgery Monday. Hoping it's just going to be an in and out thing. But alright. Dan, I know you're not still around, but huge thanks to Dan for the package that he sent in. Greg, I will, I don't know if you can do this or not. Let me go on here. Oh, wow. I didn't realize Kaylin was doing the, is that Danish? Anyway, let me message you real quick, Greg. Yeah, right there. I'll do this here in a second. Yeah, I may as well just finish it. All right. Huge thanks to Dan yet again, though, and everybody else who's been here in the chat. Appreciate you guys. It'll take me probably 20 or so minutes, 30 minutes to clean this up, and then yeah, got to deal with the animals outside, I'm sure. I don't know if it's storming outside or not. It was earlier. Hopefully it's cleared up and I can see the sky. That'd be nice. But yeah, all right, so thank you guys for hanging out, and I don't know, I'll hopefully see you guys next weekend, and